Alright, this is my painting called the Fire Mage, and the model I used was a character called It's the Mazaku. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but he's a larger gentleman and he's into like sumo wrestling and things like that. So I had contacted him and we talked a little bit, and so he actually posed for me and got some photos. And from there, I started the underpainting as normal, and I created a mock-up and a comp and a number of different things like that. And ultimately, I started painting. And as I was painting, one of the biggest issues that I have is feeling like the background did not match or did not push the characters in the foreground enough. And so as I'm painting, you'll see I'm just kind of working on details and going through and playing around with things here, kind of going in and popping out the lava area and the energy tattoos and things like that. And as I'm doing this, I'm feeling more and more that the character itself is not popping off the foreground. Like I feel like the background and foreground don't really separate. And so you'll see me add a little bit of yellow to try and mute the volcano in the background, and that didn't give me the feeling that I wanted. So as I'm doing this, you'll notice that it automatically just pops to a yellow-blue background. And at this point, I realize something needs to change. So I go back to the drawing board, do a couple more mock-ups just to try and get things right. That I go in and kind of add in a little bit more of the elements of volcanic aspects in there and add in a little bit more of that type of thing. But you'll notice that once I do that, the foreground pops a lot more. So that character stands out a little bit more and is quite defined for what I was going for. And then it's just basically a point of going through and kind of playing with the chains and playing with the little details. I'm using blues and purples to contrast with the reds, yellows, and oranges, and that's giving me a little bit more darkness on the foreground. And you can see that I'm popping those in the swords, tattoos, and other things like that. So those are things that I'm just ultimately going through and kind of adjusting and playing with and tweaking. Now, one of the biggest things that I struggled with this painting is basically the background. Having the right background, or having the right kind of overall presence and feel, makes everything kind of work together. And ultimately, I just kind of pushed this all in and kind of painted right directly from the photo. So a lot of it was already there. And you'll notice that as I go through, I'm trying to push more whites, yellows, and using CADs to push the tattoos a little bit further and kind of push those ideas a little bit more. I'm also going in, adding a little bit of yellow to the underside of the pants and things like that, so that he gets a little bit more kind of separation from the background as well. And basically that's my character as a whole. I wanted to thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed it, hit the like and subscribe button. See you next time.